Hello and welcome to all students. In this lecture, we learn about some properties of convergent sequences. Okay, and these properties are nothing but propositions, or we say theorems, based on the convergent sequences. One of the fundamental properties of convergent sequences is the uniqueness of its limit. So theorem is a convergent sequence has unique limit. A convergent sequence has a unique limit. We write the proof. Let xn be a sequence converging to 0, that is limit xn n tends to infinity is equal to 0. Let, if possible, there exist y not equal to x such that y is also a limit of sequence xn as n tends to infinity. Means suppose we are supposing here the sequence xn has two limits. So first is x and second is y, and both these limits are not same. Mean that sequence xn has two different limits. As xn converges to x, by definition of convergent sequence, for given epsilon greater than 0, epsilon is very small, there exists one natural number m1 such that mod of xn minus x is strictly less than epsilon by 2 for all n greater equal m1. Similarly, as xn converges to y, by definition, for given epsilon greater than 0, there exists a natural number m2 such that mod of xn minus y is less than epsilon by 2, and it is true for all n greater equal m2. Since y not equal to x, therefore mod of x minus y will be strictly greater than 0, and hence it is possible to select positive epsilon which is less than mod of x minus y. Also select m is equal to maximum of m1 and m2 and so on. So what will happen? Mod of xn minus x is strictly less than epsilon by 2, and mod of xn minus y is strictly less than epsilon by 2 for all n greater equal m. So m is maximum of m1 and m2. Okay. So also select m like this, so that what happens, mod of xn minus x is strictly less than epsilon by 2, and mod of xn minus y is strictly less than epsilon by 2 for all n greater equal m. So we call it is statement 1. Now mod of x minus y, we make some adjustment. In this mod we subtract xn and we add again xn. So mod of x minus xn plus xn minus y, and it is less than or equal to, we separate the mod for first two terms and last two terms. So it is less than or equal to mod of x minus xn plus mod of xn minus y. So first mod x minus xn is less than epsilon by 2, and the second term mod of xn minus y is also less than epsilon by 2. Therefore, the third term is greater than the second term, and it is true for all n greater equal m. So this is by 1. Thus, mod of x minus y is less than epsilon for all n greater equal m. This is contradiction to our choice of epsilon, because epsilon is we chosen a epsilon which is strictly less than mod of x minus y, and here what we get is mod of x minus y is strictly less than epsilon. So therefore this is contradiction to the choice of epsilon. Okay, therefore there cannot exist a second limit of xn which is different from x. Okay, therefore whenever we say that the sequence xn has two limits x and y, these two limits must be one and the same. Therefore limit xn is unique. Therefore the limit of xn, if it is exist, then it is unique, hence the proof. Okay, so this is the end of this theorem. Let us go to the next theorem. Every convergent sequence is bounded. Every convergent sequence is bounded. Yes. So let us write the proof. Suppose sequence xn be a convergent sequence having limit x. We prove that there exists m greater than 0 such that mod of xn is less than or equal to mod of xn is less equal m for all n belongs to n. Okay, means we have to show that the sequence xn is bounded. So as we have given sequence xn is convergent and converges to x, therefore by definition of convergent sequence, for any small arbitrarily small epsilon greater than 0, there exists one natural number n naught belongs to n such that this condition is true. Mod of xn minus x is less than epsilon, and it is true for all n greater equal n naught. In particular, for epsilon is equal to 1, what we get is mod of xn minus x is strictly less than 1, and it is true for all n greater equal n naught. Since we want to prove that mod of xn minus mod of xn is less than m, try to get xn from the above inequality. So using the result mod of mod a minus mod b less than or equal to mod a minus b, what we get from 1 is mod of xn minus mod x is less than or equal to mod x minus x, and it is strictly less than 1 for all n greater equal n naught. Therefore mod of mod x minus mod xn minus mod x is strictly less than 1 for all n greater equal n naught. Therefore mod x minus 1 is less than mod x and is less than mod x plus 1 for all n greater equal n naught. So this shows that all terms from onward x and naught, these terms are lying between mod x minus 1 and mod x plus 1. The above inequality gives us mod x is less than mod x plus 1 for all n greater equal n naught. Since mod x plus 1 is a constant, the result second assures that all the terms of the sequence xn are bounded from n equal to n naught onward. But we want to prove that the entire sequence xn is bounded. Now the remaining terms we need to show that the terms of the sequence xn before n equal to n naught are also bounded. That is, the remaining terms are x1, x2, x3 up to x n naught minus 1. But this is the finite set, since these terms are finite in number, and we know that every finite subset of R is bounded. Therefore, there is a real number such that mod of xi is less than equal k for all I runs from 1, 2, 3 up to n naught minus 1. Therefore, now let us take m to be a maximum of k and mod x plus 1. Therefore, what happens? M becomes greater equal k and m becomes greater equal mod x minus mod x plus 1. So hence we get, using third and second, that we get a first inequality, mod xi is less equal k and k is less equal m for all I equal to 1, 2, 3 up to n naught minus 1. And second is mod xn is less than mod x plus 1, it is also less equal m for all n greater equal n naught. From first and 2 we can say that mod xn is less equal m for all n belongs to n, and this shows that the sequence xn is bounded sequence. Okay, so this is the end of this second property of convergent sequence, or second property. So every bounded sequence is convergent, okay, or every convergent sequence is a bounded sequence. Let us write some remarks now. The converse of the above theorem is not true. So what was the above theorem? So above theorem was every convergent sequence is bounded. That was the theorem. But the converse of that theorem, converse says that every bounded sequence is convergent, and that converse is not always true. Okay, this is our remark. The converse of the above theorem is not true. That is, every bounded sequence is not necessarily convergent. Okay, so we have one counter example, a sequence xn is equal to minus 1 raised to the power n. This sequence, so see the terms of that sequence. So mod xn is equal to minus 1 raised to the power n, and it is equal to 1 for all n belongs to n. So sequence xn is bounded. So if we observe the terms of that sequence, the terms of that sequence are minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1, means the range set of that sequence contains only two numbers, minus 1 and 1, and therefore that set is bounded, and therefore the sequence is bounded. But we see here, as n approaching towards, means as n becomes larger and larger, the terms of that sequence are not approaching towards any real number. Okay, so the terms of sequences are oscillating around 0. So uh, first term is minus 1, second term is plus 1, third term is again minus 1, fourth term is plus 1, fifth term is minus 1, sixth term is again plus 1. So this sequence is oscillating about 0. Okay, oscillating about 0, and the terms of that sequence, they are not approaching towards any real number. Therefore the sequence is not convergent sequence, but it is bounded sequence. Okay, but it is not convergent because when n approaching towards 0, minus 1 raised to the power n oscillates between minus 1 and plus 1. We have a second remark. the condition of boundedness of the sequence is necessary for its convergence. Okay, the condition of boundedness is a necessary condition for the convergence of that sequence. Okay, that is important. That is, an unbounded sequence is non-convergent. If our sequence is unbounded, then obviously that sequence is not convergent. Okay, so a sequence to be a convergent sequence, it is very important that that sequence first of all must be a bounded sequence. Okay, that is, consider one example. Consider one example. Sequence yn is equal to minus 1 raised to the power n into n, for which yn is equal to mod of yn is n. Okay, and mod of yn is not less than any real number for all n. Hence yn is unbounded sequence, and therefore yn is not convergent sequence. Okay, so let us we stop here. Thank you very much.